Welcome to Earth and Kind Quests. My name is Mike, and this video is about improving your spell scrolls in Dungeons & Dragons in terms of reimagining the possible forms and styles of scrolls. Spell scrolls have been classic elements of the fantasy genre, giving us plenty of examples and inspiration about what a scroll could look like and how a person might use a scroll. Even within the standard definition of a roll of paper or parchment, you could imagine many variations. Furthermore, the material does not need to be paper or parchment as long as the item can function in the same ways as a scroll. In my view, the key elements are about a single-use consumable item, allowing for a person to read magical scripts or symbols with the results of casting a spell. After a scroll is used, then the magical writing will be lost or destroyed. The scroll itself either will be destroyed or else will lose its ability to function for any further spell inscribing. Spell scrolls can be crafted and inscribed only by a spellcaster who knows the relevant spell and who can invest the necessary time and special ingredients. Especially when characters want to create their own scrolls, then I would encourage to make these scrolls personalized or unique. Whether as a player or as a dungeon master, I start with considering who inscribed the scroll and what is the nature or purpose of the spell. A necromancer might use blood instead of ink. An archfey warlock might apply magical sparkles onto an origami paper shaped like a cute forest animal. A trickster might create a fake or cursed spell scroll. With these initial considerations in mind, I can imagine more clearly about the possible forms and styles that will make sense for a particular scroll. In most cases, the choice of raw material is the key part of making a spell scroll different and interesting. Usually, I consider raw materials of paper or parchment, fabric, tree bark, wood, bone, horn, tooth, baked clay, stone, glass, metal, or a natural feature. If I will decide to go with paper or parchment, fabric, or tree bark, then I can decide about options of a flat sheet, a roll like a typical scroll, a folded form such as origami, a playing card, a strap or belt, or a flag or banner. All of the other options of raw materials cannot be folded or rolled like a piece of paper or fabric. Instead, I choose among options such as a tablet, a bead, or a figurine. I might consider the particular type of tree that provided the wood, just like I might consider the animal that provided a bone, a horn, or a tooth. The larger items probably stand alone. The smaller items could be worn as parts of a necklace or a bracelet. If the spell is inscribed into a natural feature, then usually I would describe rock art in a cave or symbols engraved into a rune stone. Another option might be a large tree, but I would want to consider how the continued tree growth might affect the inscribed spell. Perhaps Druid inscribed a spell repeatedly into a cave, a rock, or a tree feature, effectively allowing to read and cast the spell more than once. Some natural features could be large enough to accept multiple spells inscribed into a surface. Regarding the writing material, the usual choice is a magical ink, but I add possibilities of chalks, shadow, moonlight, starlight, radiant energy, blood, and an etched or incised writing. Even with etching or incising, the patterns still can be infilled with one or the other options. Regardless of the variations in the forms, the spell inscriptions all require reading of these scripts or symbols, just like for a standard scroll. You always can add your own interpretation of the style of performance of what happens when reading the inscription and casting the spell. These aspects might be more suitable for another video about personalizing what your spellcasting looks like. How would you reimagine the forms and styles of spell scrolls? I did not mention every possibility here, and I encourage to share your ideas and suggestions in the video description. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.